Absolutely.
Karen. Okay. Karen and Sandra Moss. You know, that's a great question. I probably always get it wrong. You okay? Oh, sugar honey iced tea. Sandra, okay. Good morning, good morning. Welcome both in the sanctuary and online to the Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Pete. On the land of the Tocobaga and Seminole peoples, my name is Jeanay Johnson, and I am the Director of Religious Education and Communications here. For those new to UU churches, a UU minister typically leads worship about 2/3 of the services for the year. On other Sundays like today, a guest or a congregant or staff lead worship service. So I am today's worship leader, and I am partnered with my worship associate, Michael Pohl.
Thanks, Jeanay. My name is Michael Pohl, and my pronouns are he, him. If you want a church where we embrace science, where we help one another on our spiritual journeys, and where everyone is worthy of love, I have good news. You may have found your church home.
So for today's announcements is today we have a fourth Sunday free store that's always led by a group called PPA. What is PPA? Progressive People's Action provides free belongings, free things and items and such for people that are unhoused, just like what we do with our Friday night sunset supper. We also have dinner and duds, and then every fourth Sunday we have this.
Please read the rest of your announcements in the order of service in our monthly newsletter and on the TV in Gilmore during coffee hour.
So for our hello, namaskar, aloha, jambo, aloha, and ahoy there, mates. Today we are embarking on an interstellar ride through logic and creativity. We are a week into what I would like to call autumn, like that sense of awe in the sky. The wind chill makes you feel that sense of awe. The season of shorter days is afoot, with winter getting ready to be ushered in with the weather cycles. You get to experience that more up north, I'm sure we all know. One palm tree breaks down and that's our fall. Throughout world mythology, the goddess of the ground, the autumn harvest, is often depicted by a matriarch, a mother. Astarte, Ishtar by the ancient Semites, Semele by the Pharygian, Isis in Egypt, Demeter in Greece, Ceres in Rome. She is Tari Pinu to the Bengalis. The Huichos call her our mother dove girl. She is known as the mother of maize, the mother of corn. She is the crone opposed to the maiden. She is autumn. Welcome, girl. Which we only experienced a couple of weeks because, again, we're here in Florida. Now, we gather here to live at the crossroads of curiosity and wonder. Today's sermon explores building belonging. Let's talk about science and spirituality. Allow me to give a special welcome to any newcomers. Now, if you are new to UU St. Pete, or new to UUism, or new to St. Pete, can you give us a wave? Hello there. Now, welcome. There's a segment called Greet Your Neighbor that's coming up in just a moment, so everybody be brave and don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Thank you and welcome. And thanks for silencing your cell phones. Today we are collecting donations to keep the Friday sunset supper sufficiently supplied. We are averaging close to 100 hungry people every Friday. Thank you for giving generously. While our younger members collect your donations, please also take a minute to greet your neighbors. Say hello to someone new today, and remember to get consent before shaking hands or hugging.
They're leaving. I think Trish got it. Welcome back, y'all. I'm glad we're all greeted up this morning. Please remain standing, or actually please be seated as we sing our children to class.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirits of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Now please stand or remain as you are willing and able. Jeez Louise, for our first hymn, number 308, called Blessings of the Earth and Sky. It's in your great hymnal.
The blessings of the earth and sky upon a friendly house do lie. The rightness of a master's art has blessed with grace its every part. The warmth of many hands is strewn in human blessing on this stone. The wind upon the lakes and hills performs its native rituals. The worship of our human toil brings sacrament from sun and soul. With words and music we the earth in nature's wonder seek our worth. Here we restore ancestral dreams, enshrined in floor and wall and beam, a monument wherein we build that their high purpose be fulfilled, a tool to help our children prove an earth of promise and of love.
Now please remain standing for our chalice lighting. This chalice lighting is a really special one, and also a wonderful and gentle farewell to our teacher here, Miss Fox. Miss Fox will be leaving us today. Today is her last day, but she has been here for over a year and has provided so much care to the nursery kiddos. I would really like for you all to give her a round of applause for her time here. I put her on the spot. All right, for the chalice lighting, the flaming chalice is a reminder that we choose to focus here together for this time today, and that we believe such time is sacred. Ashley has lit our chalice, and I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words can be found in your programs and online. Today we embark upon a journey of the stars with each and every one of us joining together. Let's light the chalice.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
You may be seated.
We come now to the time in our worship service for joys, sorrows, and concerns. Those of you on YouTube Live are not in this room, but your presence is still felt. Please type your joys and sorrows into the text chat. If you have a joy, sorrow, or concern to submit during the week, please write to Reverend Ben at minister@uustpete.org.
Right now, Karen Cole will place a stone in the water for each one that was submitted this week. If you have additional cards, thank you for bringing them up. Anyone else? All right.
Each week we appreciate someone who has worked hard to accomplish our mission.
So of course I honored Ashley Fox today because I've had the pleasure of working with her, and I'm sad to see her go, but I definitely support her endeavors.
Our first stone is a stone of joy from Laura Skew. My parents celebrated their 68th anniversary last month.
I have a stone of joy from Christine, the privilege of celebrating Mabon yesterday, the pagan ritual of balance at UU, shedding and renewal.
I have a stone of joy from Ariana, welcoming Reimagine I-75 for joining us today after church for a discussion with the racial justice team. Join us at noon in Conway South.
I have a stone of sorrow from Mike Lovejoy for a neighboring family and their 18-year-old daughter, Sierra, who has been in and out of hospitals after 2 heart transplants. She is in surgery again right now. Prayers are definitely appreciated.
I have 2 stones of joy from Ann Decker, for my brother and my cousin, 2 brave men who suffered from cruel dementias. My brother died in April. My cousin died this morning. They are free from suffering.
A stone of joy from Danny Bly, the love of the critters in my life, and for the newest member of the family, Pearl, our dear chatty little Loveland.
Is that all?
Yep, that's all.
And we will place a final stone for those joys and concerns that remain in our hearts, perhaps too tender to be spoken out loud. Our responsive reading today is number 557 in the gray hymnal. We invite you to read aloud with us, number 557 in the gray hymnal. What we'd like to do is the folks on my side, if you can read the unstyled text, and then the folks on Jeanay's side of the sanctuary, please read the italicized text. All living substance, all substance of energy, being, and purpose are united and share the same destiny.
All people, those we love and those we know not of, are united and share the same destiny.
Birth to death, we share this unity with the sun, the earth.
Our brothers and our sisters and strangers.
Flowers of the field, snowflakes, volcanoes, and moonbeams.
Birth, life, death, unknown, known, unknown.
Our destiny from unknown to known.
May we have faith to accept this mystery and build upon its everlasting truth. By David Eaton. Thank you.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Hey, good morning again. One of the reasons I attend this church is to grapple with what I believe. I've always had a difficult time with the big questions. What is the nature of God? What is our nature? Why are we here? What happens when our time here is done? From a young age, my sense of reason felt at odds with what I thought I should believe, with what I wanted to believe. It's kind of small, but can anyone recognize what this is? That's right. This is an Amazon Echo Dot. So a couple years ago, I saw an installation at the Museum of Modern Art called Anatomy of an AI System. It was this very large-scale diagram covering most of a gallery wall with small white text and graphics on a stark black background. And it mapped out the enormous network of materials, people, and data, the geological processes, the environmental impacts, the paid, unpaid, and forced labor, the mining, transportation, storage, and operational systems, the impacts on privacy, surveillance, and governance, the resulting manufacturing, shipping, disposal, and waste, the income distribution of the CEOs, engineers, analysts, truck drivers, assembly line workers, call service agents, and landfill laborers, and the AI training and internet infrastructure that all made this interaction possible. Alexa, turn on the light. So the scale and the thoroughness and design of this huge visualization I just found were beautiful. I was in awe. Sometimes during service, during that minute of silence after joys and sorrows, I'll focus on a small sound that I'd otherwise miss, like the hum of our air conditioner. And I'll think about how many improbable miracles of evolution, invention, research, and labor had to happen to culminate in that sound. So instead of being in opposition to spirituality, science for me has become a profound source of spirituality, to borrow the words of Carl Sagan that Jeanay will explore in just a bit. I'm grateful for the beauty of this life and this universe. I'm boggled by everything that led to us being here today together. I'm humbled by everything I don't understand. And I am curious and willing to learn as much as I can. I am part of everything that led to this dot. I am part of all of you. Alexa, turn off the light.
Before I begin, I'd like to ask for you all to shut your eyes. As you shut your eyes, I want you to release your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Flex your face and release it. Squeeze your toes and then move them about. Hold your fingers and let them go. Touch your elbow, your wrist, and acknowledge your physical vessel. All the things that had to happen that formulated the structure of your very being. And we're still trying to study it. What if, when we think we are awake, we are actually dreaming, and when we are asleep, we are actually awake? Aren't we just spirits occupying these human vessels or avatars? What if, when we sleep, we are actually our natural beings? Deja vus we all have, repeating memories that hadn't occurred, some obstacles we face, we conquer, facing choices we never thought we'd endure. Every element we are composed of came from above. So shall it be above? Shall it be below? I am 5'5", and there are trees hundreds of feet high, and still in the plane, we cannot touch the sky. And so when we perish to the ground as deceased, the ants break us down, and in death, the energy of life keeps flowing. Grassy fields were battlefields of men who had perished. Unique flowers grow at the base of a volcano in Buenos Aires. Call it not what you feel. Your feelings are opinions. The Milky Way galaxy is tiny compared to the other hundreds of billions. We revolve around each other, living together, not always as sister and brothers, because some wage wars for resources using ignorance to literally destroy one another. But as I look up in the clear night sky every time the moon shines, imagine the last time you've seen a full moon in the sky. And that awe and that beauty. I've seen things in that sky that you will never hear about on Bay News 9. The secret to happiness is to have love bond every being. You may open your eyes. Row, row, row your boat. Our life is but a dream. All right now. Thank you, Barbara. Science is not only compatible with spirituality, it is a profound source of spirituality. This quote is often shared because it surprises people. See, we're conditioned to think of science and spirituality as opposites, opposing forces, if I may. One bound to equations, the other to emotion, one rooted in the mind, the other in soul. But that division, I think, says more about our cultural habits than it does about the nature of about reality. Now, what Sagan knew, and what many mystics and scientists alike come to realize, is that the universe is not just a mechanism to be dissected, but also a mystery to be sung. It's not just a clockwork machine, even though it flows in the cycles that we see, spring, summer, winter, fall, but a living poem in the unfolding and the formation of the oxygen that carries in every breath, the miracle behind the isolated network of neurons that pump blood in all beings that have that great singular star being born. Again, when we look up at the night sky or into a microscope, or even at the face of a newborn child, we are confronted with awe. That awe, that sense of sublime, is the very root of both scientific discovery and spiritual reverence. Is science just the study of the wonders of God? Uh-oh, I said the trigger word. Now again, when I say God, to not freak anyone out today, I don't mean the omnipotent being with white hair that sits upon the clouds that judges every being, everything that you do, and, has a special seat in hell for me ready because I kissed a girl. Come on. For me, when I say that term, I use it like a blanket term. I mean the ever-presence of the large clouds in the sky. The very feeling of seeing the formation of those 40,000 feet tall clouds in the sky. Does anybody else feel intimidated when they see those outside? Don't be bashful. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. But also the presence of the first sproutlets of the seed planted in the ground, that pop. It's like, wow, welcome. You're here. That question of whether it was ritual or agriculture that came first with the harvesting of corn and the deities that are represented by it. What was that emanating spark that helped formulate the code of which that the seed, this tiny seed, becomes a gigantic sequoia tree? Anyone seen the sequoias or redwoods? You almost don't even want to touch it. You kind of want to bow before you touch it because just this energy. I also imagine the network that lives inside of that tree, within the tree. And it just keeps going, no matter how small it gets. To think everything we witness and exist with and around, down to the existence of ourselves, started out as an idea. Like what Michael pointed out with that Alexa right there. That was somebody's idea. And voila, a manifestation. And to think someone really had a hard time trying to figure out how to make a light turn on, and now we can just say it. As we grew into being, we were a figment of an imagination that became real. Then what is creation? Now let's pivot a little bit into symbology. I once watched a video on YouTube, I understate that, I watched it a lot of times, on YouTube on sacred geometry. Talked about the tetrahedron, icosahedron, dodecahedron, octahedron, the Platonic silence, the basis of all living things. The narrator described how ancient symbols like the flower of life were more than decoration. They were said to be visual representations of energy patterns underlying all of reality. Now, if you look closely and you allow your mind to actually read it, kind of like how our phones read QR codes, I think there's a connection there. You can almost see the shapes, the squares, the cubes, the circles within that flower of life. I definitely encourage you to look at it. It's all embedded in this symbol. There's power in symbolisms as we turn our faces when we see a swastika. That ancient symbol that was from South Asia, the symbol of good luck and spirituality. But if we take that same symbol and turn it just a bit, we have what it was used as. We also have the cross that adorns buildings for houses of worship, and the same symbols were actually used to justify harm. We have the peace symbol that was made in the 50s that became popular as anti-war protests wanted peace. The symbol holds value to this day. We also have the Ankh. A symbol of which I wear on my finger and tattooed is an ancient hieroglyph, primarily symbolizes life and eternal life. Now, whether or not you agree with all the interpretations, I'm offering something that we too often forget in this modern age. It's crazy, we're in 2025 and information is endless and we still don't look. Knowledge can be mystical, and that symbols and patterns are not just aesthetic, but spiritual doorways into an aspect of being. Similarly, when scientists map the spiral of the galaxy or the double helix of DNA or the golden ratio in the seashell, also known as Fibonacci's spiral, they're encountering patterns of language that we didn't invent, but we discovered and transcribed it for us to barely scratch the surface of understanding. Some people really think that we as humans have only been on Earth for 2,000 years. We're shooting it short. A language that the universe has always been speaking is permeated through everything that we do. So what if AI is an energy that exists and we simply learn to harvest and program it? And let's get back on track. The poetry of the cosmos is written in atoms and orbits, frequencies and forces. And we as humans are still learning to read it. The animals and nature already know it. You plant the seed, add water, it grows. Fingerprints in tree stumps, lungs in tree formations, carrot slices looking like eyes, walnuts repeating the anatomical structures of our brain. It's fascinating how much nature repeats itself. And sometimes we find ourselves still separating spirituality and science. We're still trying to catch up with the code that's already here. Even with our years of experience, it still doesn't quite map out what all there is. Because at the end of it, we are a visual representation of the repeating factors that's made in this universe. We're a formation of energy that cannot be created nor destroyed, and yet there are a continuance of cycles. As this realm is based on reciprocity, we exist. So I say, hello to you, you beautiful spirits. Welcome. I see your inner children smiling. We often forget that they're there, but they're still sitting there. Those mere blips of reality, a twinkle in the galaxy like the twinkle in your eyes, or the twinkle of within a child's eyes when they get that ice cream cone that you first said they weren't going to get. And also that twinkle so far away where Pluto is pushed away as a planet merely because of its size. Oh, it's too small. You know, Alan Watts, the British-American philosopher, said, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself." Now, he wasn't speaking metaphorically. He meant that you, sitting in this pew, with your questions and contradictions, your curiosity, your walls, your triggers, your interpretations, your skin and your life stories, your vessels, your emotions, your reasonings, acknowledge that we are all walking stories. You are the cosmos made into consciousness, a ripple of awareness in a vast ocean of being. How about that? I don't think we give ourselves enough credit to our existence. And sometimes we forget that because our quality of life shifts. There are times. But who are we but walking memories? Now, Watts didn't see people as accidental passengers on a spinning rock. He saw us as expressions of a whole. The way that a wave expresses the ocean or a leaf represents a tree. From this perspective, science doesn't diminish us, it ennobles us. It places us in a story so much bigger than the ones we tell in the textbooks because we gotta be honest, they limit what they're sharing in there. Even in the studies of science and the observation of spirit, our words cannot ever fully translate the feeling what we get when we smell our favorite food or hearing our favorite song. My favorite song personally that makes me feel, is by Hans Zimmer, and it's called Time. It's a very powerful song. Something about those violins. I can't translate that feeling, but I can only express it. That energetic impression cannot be translated, but verbally, not through our feelings, but we try. But that moment of awe and that split second of seeing someone that you love that you haven't seen in a while. I quote my classmate LJ when she asked, what exactly is memory? Like when you speak love into water and it freezes beautiful patterns like the Dr. Mazzara Emoto did with this experiment. Anybody familiar with this experiment? He spoke hatred into it and then the design was just, ugh. That says a lot, doesn't it? Especially with our beings being 75% water. Hello. Now, in this light, evolution is not just biology. It is a sacred story unfolding. The Big Bang isn't just physics. It's the book of Genesis, unquantifiable, at an unquantifiable cosmic scale. The carbon in our bones and the oxygen in our lungs were forged within the ancient stars. Every time we breathe, we participate in the long exhale of the universe. Can I get an inhale? You see that? You know how many trees had to do that? The coral reef in the ocean had to participate in that? And just that one breath. We don't give this existence enough credit. We get caught up in the mundane day-to-day 9 to 5 or retired life and we forget to take our shoes off. We forget to touch a tree. You know, congratulations for receiving another day. Because not every day is promised, but again, we are still walking memories because one day we won't be here and someone else will tell our stories. So may the days that flow be filled with a favorable quality of life. And no wonder we are enchanted by the stars. No wonder the psalmist said the heavens declare the glory of God. No wonder science is behind physical health. No wonder Sagan said we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. So what do we do with this information? I just spewed out a whole bunch of what do we do with this? Well, first we can integrate it. How do we live as people who embrace both science and spirit? How can we integrate our understanding we gain in our day-to-day readings, worship services, covenant groups, and classes alike? The integration refers to the process by which insights gained are incorporated over time into one's way of life that benefits you. Do we do that? Or do we let it flow through one ear and out the other like, I'm glad that's over? Of course, integration begins by listening. Step one. And listening we gotta stretch it out. It's not just with our ears. We listen with our whole being intentively, not waiting to respond and holding our response like a cue card, like, okay, they finally finished. La! No. We listen to feel what this person is saying. Watch how they're breathing as they express. Their body language shift. Are they nervous? Are they jittery? What can you say to bring assurance? That's how you deeply listen. Now, I can talk about deep listening and reflective listening. That's a whole nother subject matter, but I think we get the gist of it. So when we sit and deeply listen to the rhythms of nature, like for instance, our heartbeats, shut your eyes for a moment and see if you can hear your heart, or if you can at least feel it. It's like, oh, there it is. And every time it pumps, you can feel that rush throughout your whole body with that singular pump, just back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Come back. The patterns of relationships, the cycles of our own inner lives, the waxing and waning of our daily emotions, we begin to recognize that the divine is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers in the voice of a child asking, "Why is the sky blue?" Or the thrill of seeing Saturn's rings through a telescope. Not through that one, through the one at SPC. We learn to pray or to meditate or to sit still, whatever the terminology you choose. That's what we do. But not just in words, but in curiosity and in wonder. We learn to meditate not just in stillness, but in experimentation. We learn to build belonging by providing food and haircuts on Fridays, Saturdays, and every fourth Sunday. We connect and expand on missions for the betterment of those receiving. We work together as we partner with other organizations and so forth. We walk through our inner monologues of trauma, emotions, reasoning, thoughts, and so forth, so we can come to see that being alive is also a form of worship. The choir is what we do to sustain and provide for those who cannot. That love is its own kind of gravity. That to seek truth is a holy act. And as Unitarian Universalists, you're uniquely positioned to hold this dual allegiance to the rational and the radiant, to the evident and ecstasy. Your faith doesn't ask you to choose between Darwin and divinity or between scientific method and spiritual reasoning. It asks you to bring your whole selves, come as you are, to live as sinkers, seekers, thinkers, I put those words together, dreamers and doers. Have the boldness and courage of a 2-year-old, I say, because science without spirit becomes cold. Boy, it comes cold. And spirit without science can become ungrounded. Now, it sounds like I'm starting to branch into conversation of masculine and feminine energies, right? That's another day, that's another day. But when those two elements come together, they make music. A symphony of the ages as the sun rises his batons and the birds sing their assigned trillings and warblings and tweet, tweet, I am trying to sleep, but they gotta work. They create poetry, and science itself is poetry of the cosmos. Spirit and science create the cosmos alive within us. And with that, I would like to usher in our offering. Thank you.
We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and community. We give with the faith that together we will have enough. The offering will now be given and received.
This is a minuet by Mozart. It's wrong in the program, just so you know.
That which is given in love is received with great joy. Thank you. Now please rise as you are willing and able for our closing hymn, number 297 in the gray hymnal, Star of Truth, number 297.
I don't think we've done this one before, so he's going to play through the whole thing, and then we're going to do the verses. The star of truth but dimly shines behind the veiling clouds of night, but every searching eye divines some partial glimmer of its light. The certainty for which we crave, no mortal ones can ever know. Uncharted waters we must brave and face whatever winds may blow. Though for safe harbor we may long, we must not let our courage fail. And though winds of doubt blow strong, upon the trackless ocean sail. From honest doubt we shall not flee, no fetter the inquiring mind. For where the hearts of all are free, a truer faith there shall we find.
You may be seated. Our closing words were written by Jeanay Johnson. As we go forth from this sacred gathering, may we carry with us both telescope and torch, tools for seeing and for shining. May you walk through this world not just as a traveler or a wanderer, but as a witness to wonder. May you remember that your questions are sacred, your curiosity is a form of prayer, and your very being is a thread in the grand tapestry of the universe. And may you never forget, you are not just in the cosmos, you are the cosmos, learning to love itself. As the world is intense outside of this country, hold true to sending love and support as you can for your heart and the heart of others. Take care of your being, and may it be so. Now, please remain seated as Barbara plays our postlude.
We invite you to follow along with the hand gestures as Sandra Moss extinguishes our chalice. The words to our traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service and online in the text chat. We extinguish this flame, the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. This we carry from our hearts and out into the world. Our worship is over, but our service always begins. Please join us in coffee hour in Gilmore Hall. If you're seeing someone not talking to someone, maybe go up and say hello. Don't be bashful. We hope this time together will help you through a week. Thank you for coming today. I didn't write a closing.
Thank you for your work. I really enjoyed working on that. You guys were faking it out.
That's why I'm waiting for the cue. The girls enjoyed the time yesterday? Oh, yeah. Computer access, a bunch of books. They're good. Oh, awesome. Yeah.